eat lettuce for 2 years.
That's not quiet.
Yeah. Okay. So we're not. Look here, guys. We're not going to go through this, but I want to show you. We're also going to review. I'm going to be reviewing this with Bobby and Audrey this afternoon, and making sure that all of our scheduled T-minus events are going to be consistent with what we're going to do. But basically, what this is, it has nothing to do with what's on the screen right now. It's just a timeline, a checklist for. It illustrates the fact that this is a 2-week process. That if you get a listing on, again, I'll repeat this because it bears repeating. It seems in our gut when we're sitting at the listing table, if it's on Tuesday or Wednesday of a week, that it's communicating great service to the seller to say, hey, we'll hurry up and have your open house this coming Sunday. But in fact, it's offering a diminished level of service, correct?
Yes.
So we need to be clear on that when we're talking to them on why it's going to be delayed. And we need to understand it and do all the things necessary. Now, remember indoors on the open house page, what are the 3 sections of tasks? What are they? Before and after, okay? And we're committing to a bunch of before stuff, and we're saying the during is not important, Mr. and Miss Seller. It's the before and after, okay? So we better make sure we're getting the before done, and that's what this checklist will help you do, keep you on track. So, you know, starting 11 days out, could be 12, 13 days out. So we will have that edited for you, okay? Now, go to the back and you'll see there's an open house checklist as well, which has a bunch of stuff that you can take with you to the open house. I'm not going to go through all of these, but you get to the bottom and you'll see where it says items for marketing display in the seating area, and look up on the screen up here. Many of our Weichert agents, and there's a great video on Weichert University when you get on, and it's a New Jersey agent talking about how he uses his display boards at open houses. And anybody had a child that had a science project? Yeah. All right, that's what we're talking about, okay? You go get the same board that you bought for their how to boil water and crack an egg or whatever, you know, experiment. And you put a bunch of information up there. And what we're trying to do is encourage people to do what? Okay. Linger and look and learn. And so there's a checklist of stuff you can have around those displays, but I want you to go see this Weichert University video of this guy talking about how he put his together and how he uses it, and I'm telling you, you'll run right down to Staples and you'll start getting your stuff, okay? Go get your board, and then all the other materials will be inside here, inside the office, okay? So that's this. So everybody understand that's literally taken to the open house and set up and displayed. You could have more than one. You know, you could have different places. I tell you, a buddy of mine when I started Weichert 13 years ago was a big Remax agent, and we had lunch. He was going, "What are you doing?" I started talking about our open house program. He went out and bought 10 laptops and started doing open houses again. And he put scrolling presentations about his other listings, about his services, about the community information, and put them on laptop all around the house. Put them in different rooms. And he said it just extended his visit time amazingly, and he was getting more clients. Because the idea is to get them to stay. Listen, how do we get so many leads from Weichert.com? We figured out how to make them stay and linger on the website. Same thing for open houses. Figure out how to make them stay and linger, and you'll wind up with a client. Okay? All right. Everybody good with that? Say yes.
Yes.
All righty. Open house, so prepping. Place a clipboard in your marketing display area with individual open house guest registers and a pin on it. That's one strategy. Instead of just having the guest register at the front, and when they come in, going through the routine of please sign this, which I fall on the fence on this one, it can work either way. You just have them greet them and have them walk them over to your display board. And you'll have a clipboard there with some individual records and ask them to go ahead and fill it out. That's another level of confidence that can be done, particularly with the display board. It helps you, okay? All right, so ask them to sign in. Don't be hesitant. We've talked about that. Extra open house guest registers, have blank buyer profiles around. Y'all know what that is? I think I have one. I do have one here. I will give you right now. Take one and yeah, there we go. Start to the printer. Take one and pass it, please. And same thing here. Okay, here is the individual record guest register, which is the guest register kind of on steroids a little bit. Instead of having everybody sign the same thing, we have individual record as well you look at. We'll let these get passed out. And let's glance at this, at the buyer profile first. Y'all see that? It's a nice form. Y'all have something like this already? A lot of times people do. Don't? Okay, good. Good. That's another add-on. Good. All right. This thing is so great, and of course, this is used not only at open houses, but anytime you're interacting with a buyer. This is a sheet you have in front of you when you're doing the buyer presentation that I'll show you in a little bit. Okay, so it just allows you to gather information about that potential buyer, name, their address, etc., what's their current status, owning, renting. Y'all see all that data? Isn't that nice? And you go down the bottom, you got those 6 columns there with, basically it's a checklist that you're just capturing what you're learning as you're talking to them. Okay? So that's a beautiful tool for you to have with you in your briefcase at all times. Look at the open house guest register. Y'all see how that works, right? That's straightforward. Okay? And what we were suggesting is you can have a group of these on a clipboard sitting near your display. And so when you get them over there, hand it to them, say, would you please sign in, and get their information. All right? Beautiful. Okay? Get mentally prepared to be a real estate professional. Picture yourself standing in the doorway, dressed professionally, wear your name badge always. Let's talk about professional dress for just a minute. What's the mode here in Delaware?
Relaxed.
Relaxed. Not many ties in the room.
No jeans.
No jeans. No jeans, but no tie.
Right. Relaxed business.
Business casual.
Business casual.
Yeah. So I went to a career night 33 years ago, and I had on blue jeans with a hole in the knee. I had a ponytail down about right here. And I just sold a portrait studio. At 20-something, 6, I'm already picturing myself as an old hippie. That crap. So I go to open house, and he didn't choose me. It was Tom Harper. He was a family friend. We knew. He didn't choose me. He was going to sponsor 2 people. That was a stupid thing anyway, but he was going to sponsor 2. And he didn't choose me, and I left kind of the tail between my legs that night. I remember feeling kind of bummed. Went back and talked to my wife, who I just married not long ago. My precious woman. And she was no help, whatever, do something else around. So next day I went in and knocked on the door. And I said, Tom, why did you choose me? He goes, Kirk, go get a haircut and buy a suit. And then we'll talk. And I got up and walked down the street, went to Jet Hall, and bought a suit and locks of love that day. Got about that much hair, and I was back in his office 2 hours later. And he immediately I became an agent there. The 2 people he sponsored were out of the business before the year was up. And he and I had become partners 2 years later. Wow. Now, don't judge a book by its cover, but put on a damn tie. You will never err. Now, when I say put on a tie symbolically, no, women, I'm talking about business dress, not business casual. I'm talking about business dress. You're closest. You're close. See, now I'm going to get in trouble when I do this. Okay, so I don't want to do that.
Get in trouble. It's
Let me
okay.
yes,
We're not close,
that's
Judith.
That's business.
Get our mind.
See, that's where I stopped. No, hang on. Everybody's close.
Damn it.
No, let me tell you this. You will never err wearing business attire. you're on the resort market. Kel Thompson on Century 21 Grand Cayman. Anybody been to Cayman Islands? Have you been? Did you stay in the Cayman Grand Hotel by any chance? Okay, because
No,
Kel
we were
owns
on a
that.
scuba diving trip. We were right on the water.
Okay.
Linoleum floors.
Gotcha. Well, he owns that, but he had a dress code on Cayman Island. By the way, he became the dominant market share, has held it for 20 years. And it's everybody has to wear professional dress. Men got to wear ties. They don't have to wear jackets because it gets dang hot. But there's a dressing room in the office where they can go change. But the standard was you wear. You will never err if you wear business attire every day with your Weichert badge. You will, and if you've been in business long enough, you have lost business from dressing down. You don't know it. It's happened. Okay? Now, it could happen, but I have not seen it in a 33-year career yet where any agent can tell me with assurance that someone rejected them and chose an agent in blue jeans because they had a suit on. Are you follow? Mm-hmm. You will never err dressing in business attire. You will lose business dressing down always. Okay? Even if you're in a market. Now, so do all the other offices kind of do business casual every day? All right. Why don't y'all give the market a different choice? That would be my opinion. Guys, this may sound goofy, but I haven't had an office outside of my home in 20 years. Even when I was general manager in another firm, I do manage by walking around and going around and stuff. And my desk is at my home. It's across my bedroom. I was telling somebody I'd been home for 3 weeks until this trip, and now I'm gonna be gone forever. But I was still working. 1 week I took off, but the other 2 weeks I worked. Guys, in the morning I get up and put on a tie and walk over to my desk. Sit there and get on the phone, type, do webinars. Why do I get dressed?
Just for
In
success.
the
Flips the
line
switch,
frame.
flips the switch. Puts me in work mode, puts me in sit-up mode, gets me to stand up at my desk. I'm looking at, do y'all have a mirror in front of your desk? I do that. And if you don't, you need to start thinking about it when you're doing all these calls that we're talking about. Your facial expressions come through the phone line. Do y'all agree that?
Yes.
Okay, and your attitude does. Huge. Matter of fact, the phone is the toughest prospecting thing because you only get to use one sense. Hearing. That's all. The whole message has to be, through hearing, that kind of stuff. So anyway, professional dress. I can't. Y'all wouldn't do business casual during an open house, would you?
No.
Okay.
I'd just like to share that when Marty was here for the launch, the only comment he did make is we were a great group, but we were challenged by our professional dress.
Yeah.
So he really did feel, but I don't feel that many of you really knew where you were going that night. So it might be different had
Well,
you
that's
known
right.
the president was coming.
Yeah,
and, but that was his only comment about our group.
I mean, I'm not from, my family's not business. My family's all educators and preachers. So I wasn't in that mode, being raised with business attire, but it's just, and you see what I look like after I take this thing off at night, you'd wonder, I have friends at home that go, occasionally by accident they'll see me in a suit and they go, who the hell are you? They don't even know who it is. But it makes sense, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Buy some Weichert garb. Okay? Weichert garb.
On the website.
Yeah,
there's
website, they got
things you
some
can buy
career
that
apparel
say Weichert.
that you can wear. Nice.
For women too?
Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, and there'll be more now that the market's back up. We're getting our suppliers provide more stuff, so. Anyway, just something to think about.
I'm down with a uniform.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like a uniform for me, and that's why I hated the Century 21 got rid of that gold coat back when I was Century 21, because then I had to start buying suits. All I was buying was slacks, I had the coat, that kind of stuff. So anyway, professional dress. Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let me tell you what you're going to see. You're going to see some brand new licensees coming in here wearing a tie every day, just so you know. And you're probably going to, well, not probably, you're also going to see them coming back with a bunch of listings. And you're going to see them coming back with contracts with buyers every week for doing open houses. And so it is kind of interesting. We start seeing different mentoring situations go on, you know what I'm saying? Particularly in the transition to Weichert. So good, all right. Meeting and greeting, you want to stand there and say hello, how you doing? Use a couple of icebreakers, you know, early on. We talked about the early dialogues yesterday, right? You know, what to say when they come in, etc. And by the way, y'all see you've got all of this in a handout. Did I give that? Yeah, you have all of these. So that's why it's okay that I'm going through this quick. You have all of these for later that you can look at. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to flip through them. Yeah, I just meant you have it for later, okay? All right, so after greet and brief, sign in, we talked about touring them around, allows you, you know, so you're gonna walk around when you can with the people that are there. You know, you may have, what if you got 4 or 5 different folks? That could be different, you know, a challenge, so you have to let them go. So touring around, your marketing display area can kind of be your waiting area. You know that board? So people can hang out there if they want to have you to take them on the tour, or you could suggest that. You know, please hang here for a few minutes and look at the information, and I'll be right back after I show this nice couple around the house. Multi-story lobby, you know, use doorbell ring, hanger, that kind of stuff, let people know you're upstairs. Mechanics of tour allow, y'all can read some of these, you know, allow guests to kind of explore the house and you know, give them the emotional space to react in each room. Guys, whenever I showed houses, I would go, do y'all go in the room first, like the bedroom, or do you let them go in first? Let them go in first? 2 schools of thought, I fall on the fence. What is the thought process behind them?
I want to be in the back of them, just safety.
Gotcha, okay. That's what I thought. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so if there weren't those concerns.
Yeah, I would go.
Well, yeah, I always like to walk in first, and I would go straight to the furthest corner. Y'all follow? I'd just go right in and walk to the straight forest corner, because it makes the room look what? Bigger. And it also gives them room and space to come in. So anyway, we do a lot of those. Leave as much space as possible. We have the buyer profile, which you looked at, okay? So we're carrying that around as we're touring them, right? And filling in the information we get from the questions we ask. Slob sequence, you know, how soon, how long, offers you to buy, you know, to find out what they have done. Have y'all ever seen the slob thing? How soon do you want to move? How long have you been looking? Have you put in any offers? If you find a home, are you ready to buy? That's an old Floyd Wickman technique. Y'all know who Floyd Wickman is?
No.
Sweat hogs. See, it's gotten too old. You know Ed, sweat hogs? You know, no. Okay. All right. Any of the tour asks each guest if they want to make an offer on the home. No, you're not going to do that. What are you going to say?
I want to buy this house.
Buy this house. Okay. There it is. There you go. Other closes, and we've got some other weaker dialogues in there for you to look at. Okay. All right. Here's some more weaker dialogue. Oh well, no, this is for a follow-up appointment. These are good. Okay. So here's some dialogue you can use when you're doing when you're asking for a follow-up appointment. And then make sure you restore the house. Don't you hate it when you try to say one thing, something else comes out? I was thinking about my ex-wife. We were at breakfast one morning, and what I was trying to say was, "Honey, please pass the cream." But what came out was, "You've ruined my life, you bitch." I know. That's not true. You two laugh though. Not true. Okay. So restore the home. Restore the home back to its original condition, obviously. I mean, the best thing is that the homeowners come back in and they don't even know you've been there. You know, they smell the remnants of the vanilla. You know, that's it, okay? So closing all the curtains, shutting down the lights, doing all the kind of stuff, you know. Take the dog out of the cistern or whatever. Thank you note for the sellers, obviously secure the home, take down the signs, immediately text your manager, report the number of attendees. Y'all got that? That's another thing we're doing here.
So we would text like,
Bobby and tell you how many attendees came?
Let me clarify that.
No.
We'll know for sure after we meet the